Beloved soul, today the angels reveal that there's a sweet and intense energy in the air, as if something important is about to unfold, but cannot yet be shown. If this video found its way to you, I ask that you keep watching until the very end, because nothing happens by chance. And if this message reached you, it's because it serves a purpose. There's someone you love, and this person is acting a little differently, hiding feelings that no longer fit in their heart. They watch your every move with attention, noticing subtle signs that reveal emotions that cannot be concealed. With each encounter, a sweet tension settles in, as if you both know something greater is about to happen, but courage is still missing to make it real. It's as if they're rehearsing a decisive move, keeping a secret that beats strongly and becomes harder to keep silent each day. The angels ask you to pay attention to subtle signs, because a phrase is being carefully crafted, announcing that maybe it's time for both of you to change the course of your story. The heart races before small displays of affection, touches that seem accidental but carry deep and careful intentions. Anxiety mixes with hope, creating an atmosphere where every word and gesture gains unexpected meanings. There are moments when silence speaks louder than any conversation, and each glance becomes a secret dialogue full of promises. In secret thoughts, they plan a perfect moment to reveal feelings, imagining reactions, smiles, and the emotion that will follow. Everything around seems to conspire for the right time to align, transforming the wait into a ritual of silent and intense preparation. Even physical distance doesn't diminish the intensity of the bond, as each shared memory strengthens. The invisible connection that unites hearts. Each seemingly simple gesture, like holding hands for a moment longer, carries a message that words couldn't express. Expectation grows each day, and every detail of daily life is interpreted as a clue of what's coming, a sign of the decisive moment. They realize that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to follow the heart even when facing insecurity and vulnerability. Plans elaborated in silence are carefully guarded, like treasures waiting for the exact moment to reveal themselves. There's a contained intensity that shows in lingering looks, in smiles that appear without apparent reason, and in gestures loaded with meaning. They feel that every movement has a greater purpose, guided by forces that cannot be seen but are felt clearly in the heart. The preparation involves not just objects or gifts, but mainly building courage and confidence so nothing can interrupt. The perfect moment. Nights are filled with thoughts about what to say, how to act, and how to transform feelings into a tangible reality that deeply touches the one they love. The universe seems to adjust small details, synchronizing events so each step occurs naturally and harmoniously, without rush but with precision. Even facing small failures or unexpected events, the certainty that the moment will come keeps the heart serene and focused on the greater goal. They feel there's a unique language between you two, a silent communication that only connected hearts can understand. The emotion is intense but controlled because there's awareness that the right time must be respected for everything to become memorable. Each shared memory revisited, each old gesture is remembered as if it were part of a map that leads directly to the awaited moment. There's a need for perfection, not out of superficiality, but because they want every detail to reflect the depth of feelings accumulated over time. Patience becomes virtue, because each rehearsal, each hesitation is necessary for the final surrender. To be complete, true, and unforgettable, the heart beats differently in proximity, revealing a mixture of fear, hope, and desire to make the experience perfect. They prepare emotionally, adjusting thoughts and feelings so nothing that was planned gets lost or misinterpreted. Small daily signs are carefully analyzed, as every detail might indicate the right moment or the correct way to act. The awareness that this isn't just about a gesture, but about a transformation in both your lives makes everything more significant and profound. Even though words haven't been spoken yet, the intention is clear, and each silent action reinforces the decision that has already been made internally. This phrase marks the beginning of a new path, a transformative step guided by pure intentions and the true desire to share life by your side, more deeply, committed, and completely. The person you love doesn't know how to tell you this yet, but they're preparing a request that will change everything. Each word, each gesture, each detail is being planned to make the moment unforgettable. So your eyes will shine and emotion will overflow when the surprise is revealed. The angels show there's something hidden, perhaps a ring kept in a drawer, in a little box in the car, or accompanied by a note that hasn't been delivered yet. But the gift already exists in their heart. Only courage is missing to cross the silence and transform mystery into reality. You'll feel that something has changed, even without being able to identify exactly what it is. The angels confirm it's a gift from destiny, a proposal for sacred union, illuminated by divine forces, so your love grows with purpose. Your beloved rehearses 1,000 ways to express themselves, but none seems sufficient. They want everything to be perfect, for you to realize the importance of this step and how much they want to build a special place where love transforms into a shared life. At this moment, the angels touch your heart, bringing serenity, courage, and clarity, because it's not easy to express that they've decided to build something new by your side, but that's what's about to happen. The emotional and practical preparation is constant, as there's understanding that the moment needs to be perfect to create eternal memories. Each thought, each planned gesture is a step toward complete surrender of feelings, a true manifestation of love and commitment. The heart stays alert, open, and receptive because it knows the connection created is rare, precious, and deserves to be preserved in all its intensity. When this moment comes, you'll understand each sign, each hesitation, each silence, because everything was part of a greater plan, guided by divine love. The angels are around, protecting the path and ensuring the surprise happens at the right time, with brightness, truth, and blessings. They've already decided, and their heart is light, even with anxiety, because they feel it's time to transform the love you live into something more solid and meaningful. Everything is being prepared with care, attention, and delicacy, because this isn't just about a request, but about complete surrender, the realization of feelings that need to flourish. They feel that every moment lived together builds silent tension, as if time were preparing the ground for something inevitable and transformative. Breathing becomes deeper when noticing details that previously went unnoticed, revealing layers of feeling they never imagined existed. There's delicacy in gestures that seems choreographed by destiny. Each touch, each smile, calculated by an invisible force that guides hearts. The expectation is intense, but not distressing, because there's confidence that each moment will follow the natural flow of carefully cultivated emotions. The silence between you isn't empty, but loaded with meanings that words couldn't transmit, as if each pause were a secret dialogue. They realize that sometimes simple gestures reveal more than grand declarations, because sincerity lies in what is spontaneous and genuine. Thoughts about past encounters emerge clearly, bringing memories that warm the heart and reinforce the certainty that everything has its right time. Even in physical distances, they feel there's constant presence, as if proximity existed in the invisible field of shared feelings. Each planned gesture becomes essential because they perceive that small nuances can completely change how feelings are understood. They observe that patience is intensity's great ally, allowing each step to be taken with care and depth without haste or superficiality. Daily details are analyzed with more attention, seeking subtle signs that indicate propitious moments for approach or conversation. There's awareness that it's not just an isolated gesture that matters, but the sum of small actions that build trust and emotional intensity. Internal preparation is as important as external, as each thought is adjusted, so feelings are expressed clearly and honestly. They realize the heart has its own rhythm, and it's necessary to respect this flow, so nothing is lost in impulses or uncontrolled expectations. Each shared memory serves as a guide, as a map that orients future actions, indicating paths of approach and ways to express affection. There's constant care in interpreting reactions and responses, understanding that mutual sensitivity is essential to maintain harmony and depth in the relationship. The waiting time isn't empty, but full of preparation, learning, and analysis of how feelings can be better transmitted and received. They feel that each touch, each word, each gesture is part of a silent dance, where both learn rhythms and movements of the other. Anxiety doesn't dominate, because there's understanding that emotional intensity needs to be balanced with patience and attention to the moment's signals. They're surprised by their own capacity to perceive nuances and details that reinforce the importance of being present and conscious in each instant. Even facing uncertainties, there's implicit confidence that true feelings find their way, regardless of haste or external circumstances. Small moments together are carefully analyzed because each carries potential for deep meaning, shaping memories that will remain. They understand that courage and vulnerability walk side by side, and that full expression of feelings requires accepting emotional risks. The mind revisits previous encounters, studying gestures and words as clues to better understand intentions and depth of existing bonds. They perceive that the intensity of the bond doesn't depend on grandness, but on consistency, attention, and truth in daily interactions. Each moment of proximity becomes an opportunity to deepen connection, reinforce complicity, and strengthen trust between you two. There's growing awareness that true feelings manifest through consistent actions and small details that reveal care and attention. They feel they're building something lasting, something that requires patience, reflection, and total emotional surrender, without reserves or hesitations. The heart stays alert and sensitive, ready to respond to signs and gestures, maintaining constant alignment with the other's intentions and emotions. They recognize that each step taken in the present directly influences the quality and depth of the bond, shaping future memories and experiences. Even trying to keep it secret, their soul already reveals everything. Their eyes shine differently when they see you. Their voice becomes softer. The world seems to slow down. There's a silent promise in every gesture, touch, and look. The angels ask you to keep your heart open, attentive to signs, because the union approaching is a powerful light. The moment hasn't arrived yet, but it's close and will mark your story forever. When they finally express themselves, the words coming from their heart will invite you to walk side by side, building a home, sharing dreams, and fully living love. The universe conspires behind destiny's scenes to align every detail. And when revelation happens, it won't be just with words, but also with gestures, looks, and total surrender. The surprise is the answer to silent prayers you didn't even know existed. Observe carefully the signs, how they look at you, hold your hand, smile without apparent reason, or get lost in thoughts about what's coming. Everything indicates love. It's about to transform into commitment. They feel that every shared moment builds invisible layers of intimacy, as if gestures and looks were enough to communicate deep feelings. There's growing perception that each small action has impact, and even silences carry subtle meanings that strengthen the bond between you. They notice that carefully chosen words don't just inform, but also create space for mutual understanding and empathy, revealing truths that wouldn't be perceived otherwise. The awareness of presence is intense, as each gesture is received with full attention, transforming simple moments into memorable and meaningful experiences. They feel the bond's complexity arises from balance between proximity and respect for boundaries, creating an environment of mutual trust. Each thought about past encounters brings new perceptions, as if memories kept valuable clues to strengthen future feelings and intentions. There's constant care in maintaining authenticity, avoiding automatic gestures, and valuing genuine expressions of emotion and affection. They realize the relationship's intensity isn't in haste or exaggerated demonstrations, but in the depth with which each moment is lived and felt. Daily details become important signs, revealing behavioral nuances that strengthen understanding and complicity between both. They feel each step taken in the present influences the construction of a shared narrative, where trust and connection develop organically. Time perception changes as moments together seem to expand, revealing layers of feeling that would previously go unnoticed. They realize that expressing vulnerability is a way to reinforce bonds, allowing feelings to be shared with sincerity and without reserves. Each touch or look carries the possibility of communicating complex emotions, making simple interactions more meaningful than words could transmit. They feel the bond grows silently, sustained by consistent actions and small demonstrations of attention and care. Reflection on past encounters reveals intimacy patterns, showing how small gestures and details create lasting memories and strengthen emotional bonds. They perceive patience as essential, as each feeling needs space to develop naturally and truthfully. There's awareness that emotional proximity requires balance between surrender and self-preservation, allowing mutual growth without suffocating. Individuality. Each moment of silence is filled with perception and observation, revealing more about intentions, desires, and feelings than conversations could express. They feel connection deepens as trust and attention become intrinsic parts of each interaction, strengthening the invisible bond. Mutual understanding reveals itself in subtle gestures, where both recognize feelings without need for explicit explanation. They perceive that intimacy construction involves repetition of small actions, emotional consistency, and conscious presence in each shared moment. Each rescued memory brings a sense of continuity, showing that bond and feeling don't depend on great moments, but on constancy and attention. They feel emotions intertwine, creating an invisible field where intentions and perceptions connect naturally and spontaneously. Reciprocity perception is constant, as each gesture is evaluated not just for immediate impact, but for lasting effect on relationship and trust. They realize each interaction carries growth potential, allowing intimacy and understanding to deepen, gradually, without haste or imposition. Care with details becomes a gesture of respect and attention, demonstrating consideration for the other's needs and feelings. They feel true feelings reveal themselves in consistency, attentive observation, and actions that reinforce bonds silently and continuously. Each received gesture is processed with full attention, making simple interactions loaded with meaning and reinforcing the sensation of deep connection. They perceive emotional bond is built in layers, where patience, perception, and sensitivity act as essential pillars for solidity and durability. Understanding grows with observation, reflection, and emotional openness, creating space for genuine sharing of thoughts, desires, and most intimate feelings. They've already dreamed of this moment, rehearsed every reaction, cried and smiled, imagining your response. They ask for calm, wait for the perfect instant, because they want the surprise to be full, intense, and unforgettable. They talk to themselves to gather courage, transform feeling into words and desire into destiny, even seeming distant sometimes. They're actually closer than ever, ready to be your home, your shelter, and your company for all days. Each gesture, each detail, each pause is a silent invitation for you to notice they've already chosen you, decided to write life's next chapters by your side. Only that breath of courage guided by the heavens is missing for them to declare it's better for you to unite forever. When this happens, it will be more than a gesture. It will be an open door to the future, a blessed commitment, and the realization of an old wish. The angels will be present, celebrating every second, ensuring this moment is sacred and unforgettable. If you feel this connection and believe in the power of your guardian angels, write 555 in the comments and declare your faith. This gesture creates a deep bond with your love desires, strengthening the energy that's already working in your favor. Remember to like this video if it touched your heart, subscribe for more divine messages, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the guidance your soul needs. Your angels are listening, and love is coming.